think I'm live. I'm just going to wait a minute or so to see if anyone pops on. I did create the event earlier on Facebook, so hopefully those people that said they were going to come pop on. So if you pop on, just jump on and let me know that you're watching. Say hi, let me know where you're watching from. Oh, hi Sylvia. Excellent. So I have one person on, that's great. Sylvia, have you popped on before? Have you just been able to watch the lives previously? I don't think I've seen your name pop up live. I think I've only seen it as in liking my posts and stuff. And I think if I'm correct, you are in New Zealand. So, yeah. Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know me, who pops on and watches my replay later on or my replay over on YouTube tomorrow, my name's Tracy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Central Victoria, Australia, and welcome to my Facebook Live. Every Thursday I come on live. I go through some of the projects that I do each week. I also do a live drawing for the project that I created last week. And we also have a little crafting time, so super excited to have people on today. You are in New Zealand. I thought that was the case. Oh, I'm so happy that you're here today. Hi Marion. Oh, you have called me live. Oh, okay. No, that's all right. Timing doesn't work for a lot of people, so I'm happy to have you here today. Hi Pam. Okay, so I've got a few people watching. That's really great. Hopefully everyone has had a really great week. How's everyone coping with the coronavirus? It's getting a little crazy around the world, isn't it? We have had no cases in the area that I live in, Central Victoria, as far as I know. That includes the Bendigo and the Loddon Shire. They have said that we have no cases at the moment, so that's really, really great. We definitely still have that shortage of the toilet rolls, but we're getting through at the moment, so hopefully we're able to stock up and have a few extra spares. So, but it's crazy. I went to the supermarket yesterday and I actually was surprised that people were pretty well behaved, probably more over friendly in the supermarkets, which was nice. Probably more friendly than they usually are, so that was nice that it was sort of a little bit calmer than crazy. Didn't do any stockpiling. Yeah, no, I haven't. The last time we bought toilet paper was just our normal supply, and last week Adam, my husband, was able to get a 4-pack, so yeah, the boys just have to be a bit careful with how much they use, because they are the biggest toilet paper users in our household. Anyway, I think it is crazy to go into the supermarket excuse me, and see empty shelves, though. I have had that before when we lived in the Northern Territory. There's been a shortage up there when we lived in Katherine, so I have been through it before, but it's still crazy to walk into the supermarket and see empty shelves throughout as well. Oh, excellent. I'm so glad that you got that, Pam. That's really, really great. Normal shopping only, yeah. I think if everyone just keeps it to their normal shopping, I think Australia would be able to keep up with the demand, but people are going a little bit overboard. So anyway, I'm hoping that with the procedures that they've put into place that we can get on top of it pretty quickly. Sylvia's daughter's in London. Sent pics this morning of completely empty fruit and veg. Oh wow. I will say, when I went to Woolworths yesterday, I was still able to, there wasn't a huge abundance of fruit and veg, but there was quite a bit there. The only thing I couldn't get was potatoes, but we'll just keep going and go without potatoes for a week. It's not that big of a deal. Hi Chrissy, glad to have you here today as well, and Karen's watching as well, so beautiful. We've got a few people watching. So since last week, let me tell you what's been going on besides the coronavirus, which I think for everyone, that's what we've all had going on. I just want to say too, with the coronavirus, there is an upside. So if you're stuck at home, you get more crafting time done. So the way I'm looking at it, we're all fit and healthy, but we're only going out when we're needing to go out. and the rest of the time we're staying home. We're home people anyway, so that sort of suits us all as well. But if you're just going out when it's essential, I think we might be able to control it a little bit. Lots of gardening. Oh, how did you go with the veggies? Excellent, Marion. Marion was going to be putting some veggies in for the winter crops, so you obviously were able to get some of those plants planted. That's great. Excellent. Okay. So my hearing. Let's go back to my hearing, because I did tell you I had my hearing tested going back quite a few weeks. I was able to get into the doctor yesterday, so I was able to do the follow-up. And straight away I've just been booked in to see an ear, nose and throat surgeon, which I thought I would have to wait a little while, because usually there's a fairly big lineup for those services, but I've actually got an appointment next Wednesday, so I'll be able to tell you what comes of it next week's appointment. So yeah, next Wednesday. Totally amazed that I can get in a week, so we'll wait and see if there's anything that they can find. Obviously I've got pretty bad hearing loss, but there's no real reason why I've got it. There's nothing really to explain it, so I'd sort of like to get to the bottom of that, see what's going on there, and see if we can explain what's happening with it. But I don't know whether I'll get it back, or, you know, I suppose because we don't know what's caused it, whether it is reversible or if there's a procedure or anything like that. So hopefully the ENT will be able to help me out with that as well. Yeah, so it's been a pretty quiet week other than that. Even here in our shop, we've been pretty quiet. So people are staying away, which is good in a way. Obviously not good for the business, but good that we're not all spreading it around. But yeah, so I've been able to do a little bit of my usual things, but nothing too exciting. Oh, thanks, Pam. Hi, Angie. I'm so glad to have you here today. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to pop the camera down and we're going to go through everything that I have created this week. My phone's ringing, sorry about that. I'm just going to pop the camera around and it's just going to keep ringing. Let me see if I can move this in a little bit. Might just have to bring it up. Gonna have to get another big light, I think. We're starting to get into that darker weather of an afternoon. So hopefully it's not too shadowy for you. So let's start with the Sunday challenge. For the Sunday challenge, it was the St. Paddy's theme because we had St. Patrick's Day. Was that Monday? I think it was Monday. And I created this gorgeous little treat holder. Now, for people who were wanting to know how to create this, I did put the instructions in the comments. So it's just a little bag box. So you make the little box and then you wrap the designer series paper around. It's got some chocolates in it. And see this 4-leaf clover here? Darker in the morning walks. Absolutely, Marion. My family said this morning, why is it so dark? They're not liking getting up so early or in the dark. So anyway, they'll just have to get over it because it's only going to get worse. So these are 4 little punches and they're hearts, and it comes from the Dog Builder punch. So let me just bring that in. This one here. So the little hearts, 4 punches in Call Me Clover, and I've just folded them in half and used glue dots to stick them all together. Isn't that gorgeous? Such a cute little idea. So that was the Sunday challenge. The challenge is St. Patrick's Day or green. Now obviously not everyone's going to want to do a St. Patrick's Day theme because it's already passed, but you can do a green card or a green project, and there's plenty of greens in the Stampin' Up colours. My favourite is Granny Apple Green, so if you would like to join in, you have till Sunday to join in for that one. And Sunday morning I'll have another challenge, so if you want to join in, please do. On my blog on Monday, I took part in the Let's Get Hopping group. This is a blog hop, And this is the little project that I created. Now the theme was for the kids, and I took that as something to give for the kids. And one thing that I really like doing is creating cards and gift cards for new parents. So let me show you. This is the Wildly Happy stamp set. So there is the panda bear, and I've left them black and white, and I've added a bit of pool party down below just to add a little bit of extra colouring there, but I've left them mainly in black and white. So we have 2 panda bears, a little fox, some bunny rabbits, and the elephant. So this is a little pack, 3x3 cards with the matching envelopes. Stamping Up sell the 3x3 envelopes, and it's using the leaf punch and the Parisian Blossoms Designer Series paper, which is in the background here. So really cute. I love that you could change this up for a boy or girl, and there's so many stamp sets that Stamping Up have that you could use for this project. And I just thought that Wildly Happy is such a gorgeous baby themed stamp set with the mum and the baby. And so this was the project that we created. Now there is plenty of inspiration over there in the blog hop, so if you go over to my blog, just make sure that you hit that next link and you can go along on that blog hop. Check those ones out. So Monday's also my tips and tricks video, and I showed you how to use the silicone craft sheet. So we did a few different things. One of them was, using it to glue detailed images together. So popping some Tombow Mono glue down and then using a Stampin' Sponge and then popping it down on the back of the detailed die cuts, and then you can place them together. That is a really useful tip. I've also used it for the heat gun, so I was able to pop some glue down onto the silicone craft sheet and then work from there if you wanted to do it that way. The hot glue from the silicone hot gun doesn't stick to the silicone mat either. We did the mirroring image, so you're able to stamp one and then stamp the mirroring image. Now I've used the Stamparatus for that technique, but that is a really awesome technique to use. This is the embossing paste, so I was able to mix up the embossing paste with some re-inker onto the craft sheet, and then I've just placed it straight down onto a bit of Whisper White. But I've also used it with the mats as well, and it's just an easy wash up. Nothing sticks to it, no adhesives or embossing, nothing like that sticks to it, so it's a really great way of using your silicone craft sheet. Also using it with inks, you can pop it down onto the silicone craft sheet and work with your colours with the aqua painters, so these ones here. And then I also put it down, sprayed it, and then you can put some watercolour paper straight down on that as well. So this is one of the other ways I've used it. Now I did show you also, if you have already popped some dimensionals down on your project and you've taken the backings off already, if you can't use that right then and there, you can also pop this down onto the silicone craft sheet and it'll just pull straight up. You won't stop that from being sticky. They stay sticky, it just doesn't stick down onto anything. So the silicone craft sheet is a really great tool to have. It's quite cheap as well, but you'll use it over and over again, especially once you know the different uses that you can use with it. So if you haven't checked that video out, that is on Monday's YouTube video. Moving on to Tuesday, I took part in the Kylie Bertucci's blog hop, and this is the project that I made. It's the stamp set is Witticisms, which is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't know what a chinchilla was, but isn't it gorgeous? It looks like a rodent, but cuter. And this is the Golden Bee Designer Series paper, so it's just a really cute little gift. But how perfect. I worked on this last month, but isn't this perfect for this time of that we're going through at the moment, relax and chinchilla out. I need to make more of these, I think. So that is on Tuesday's video. Wednesday's video is the casing video, which this one's straight out of the mini catalogue. It's also using the Witticisms stamp set. I love it. It's so cute. There's so many different stamps that you can use for different projects, whether they be cards or in little bags and boxes. And I've used the cactus one, looking sharp. So sweet. This is a smaller card in the catalogue, and I've just made it into a regular size card. So that is really cute. I love that Stampin' Up! Have so many different card samples for you to either case from, get ideas from, get colour combos from. The catalogues are fantastic for all those reasons. So you can find that one on Wednesday's video. Okay, so if you haven't hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, please head over there, hit subscribe, click on that little bell as well. That just lets you know my next video comes out. So talking about my blog now, don't forget I do a monthly email newsletter, and that just lets you know everything that's going on in the Stampin' Up! World. You can subscribe to that email or that newsletter over on my blog. You can also sign up for blog posts in the mail. So if you're not part of YouTube and you still want to find out all the information, you can do that there, and it just comes into your inbox, and you can get all that information from there. Marion says that she loves these for new mothers. Yes, absolutely. I've given these away before, and they are so appreciative of these sets, because it's one thing that people don't really think of too much, but you get a lot of presents, and it's really nice to give something back just as a thank you as well. And these go down like a treat, although I have given them away once and the mum did not use them because she said that they were too good to give out. So but this is a really great gift idea. So for everyone who orders this month, you will receive a handmade card, and I didn't bring it over to my desk. It was one that we made a couple of weeks ago. You'll also receive the bundle tutorial. Let me bring in that bundle tutorial. They are printable PDF tutorials. So many great ideas. There's supposed to be 50, but each month it's a little bit different. Sometimes there's 50, sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less. But some really great inspirations. They're different every single month, and it's just a really great tool to have on hand, so you don't have to think too much. All the measurements, all the supplies are listed, and the directions. So really great tool to have in your little toolkit. So you'll get that one as well. And for during celebration, which there is only, how many days left? 13 days left of celebration. For every $90 here in Australia, you can choose one free item. And so it's a really great way to stock up now. I'll tell you, my last order, I got adhesives and Whisper White cardstock and just my basic supplies. And I got a few free celebration items just by getting my basics now. So don't forget, 13 days left of celebration. The joining special is absolutely amazing. You will not be disappointed. You get the free paper trimmer. This is a guillotine style paper trimmer. It's a mini one. What do they say that is? Someone will help me out. They call that self sharpening. I think that's what it might be called. But you also get a sampling of Designer Series paper. These are 48 sheets of 6x6. Gorgeous designs and colours. Sharpen, yes. Thanks, Marion. Trust me, my brain just went to mush then. It's a really great masculine and feminine. Kids ones are in here as well. Look at that paper there. So a really great assortment. That's free. You also get to choose your own stamp set from the catalogues. You can choose the mini catalogue, the annual catalogue. It just can't be a host stamp set or a celebration stamp set. But there's also free shipping. So if you're interested or want more information on joining, let me know. I would happily help you out with that one. Okay. Oh, I didn't show you. This is my project that's in that bundle tutorial. I'd show you this every week, but it's so cute using the Timeless Tulips stamp set. So it's just a little Easter box. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful colourings, very spring colours, even though we're just gone into autumn. Hi Becky, thanks for popping in. And I didn't show you this one either. If you're signing up for my newsletters, there's also a free printable tutorial. So it's a PDF, and for this month in March, which I'm very late in sending out my newsletter this month. I don't know why, but I've gotten a little bit delayed with it. But they did go out, I think, Monday, and this is the project that's in there. So it's a cute little Easter box with some little Easter eggs in there, and it's also using the Timeless Tulip stamp set, so really cute. Okay, that's everything that I had to show you. Let me show you the cards that we're going to create today, and then I'm going to do the drawing for last week's card that we made. So this one, like I said last week, I had a few new stamp sets that came in for the celebration. I'm going to bring those in and show you as well. So the sets that we're using today are the Well Dressed, the Tags in Bloom, and the Rise and Shine. Now, I'm not really using the Rise and Shine too much. I'm just using the sentiment from it on today's card. I'm focusing on these two and also the new Designer Series paper. Now, let me bring in that Designer Series paper and show you. This is also a free celebration item. Specialty paper. It is copper and silver embossed. There's 4 different designs. Really, really pretty. So we're using this one here in today's video. So another free item there. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm creating 2 cards each night, or each Thursday live. So these are the 2 here. So before we get started, let's bring in last week's card, which was the little Ladybugs stamp set. So cute. Good luck, everyone. Have a name here. Well, I got 2 names, 1 name. Becky Prewett. Well done, Becky. You're here too to see it. I'll send that out in the mail tomorrow for you. So if you're interested in having your name drawn out, or having the chance to having your name drawn out next week, all you need to do is like, comment, or share this video. You can do it either live, replay later on, or in my YouTube live. Am I blurry? Because my video seems very blurry. There. Oh, the video dropped. That is strange. It just went really blurry for me. Did you get to see the name drawing? Where did it drop out? Becky, okay, you know that you got it. Beautiful. That's really great. So to go in the draw for next week, all you need to do is like, share and comment in this video, either in the live or the replay or over my YouTube later on tomorrow. So let's start making the first card. I really love this set. This is the Well Dressed, and I love that there is so many masculine themes in this stamp set. So we have a tie, a pen, a watch, an umbrella, tire marks. These are old dancing shoes. They sort of look a little bit like bowling shoes, keys, and this gorgeous hat. So I've just made 2 really quick cards. Well, this one's not overly quick because there's a little bit of colouring, but it's not too bad. But because I'm making 2 cards, I didn't want it to be too long. So we're using a few different products in this one. We have inks of Mossy Meadow, Grey Granite and Night of Navy. Love these colours all together. It does make mail cards so easy, absolutely. And if Trisha's still on, Trisha made a really nice card the other day. Yesterday I was watching it on her YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked her out, head over and check her out. Okay, let me bring in my kit. So we're using Whisper White card base, and it's the thick Whisper White. Highly recommend using the thick for your card bases. The regular Whisper White's just not that good. We have some Designer Series paper, and this is Come Sail Away. I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow. I have 2 strips of Mossy Meadow card, and I have pre-die cut from the rectangle stitched framelits, my 3 frames. Now, all the measurements and supplies for both these cards will be on my YouTube channel tomorrow, so if you're after any of the dimensions or anything, just check that one out. And I have a piece for our sentiment and also another piece for our hats there as well. So this has got a little bit of dimension, which is really good as well. Let's start by gluing these ones down. That was my son coming home and then leaving again. I wonder where he's gone. Okay, so I'm going to glue this Designer Series paper straight down. And this is just for a little bit of background detail. Make sure it's straight. So how's everyone going with the coronavirus? Are you staying home? Are you not too worried? I'll tell you what, I've actually, this afternoon, I thought a really great topic that we can talk about is if you are staying home and you're crafting, what are you watching? So I've got a list of shows from normal TV here in Australia that you can watch online, and I've also got a list for Foxtel, Netflix and Stan. So let me know if you've seen them or you recommend something else. So I thought I'll start off with Foxtel. Now, if you've got Foxtel, you should be able to watch on demand. And I've just created these a little bit longer than I need, but like I said, check the directions in tomorrow's YouTube. Just going to chop that off. So I always watch Foxtel on demand because I can watch it at any time then. I'm not restricted for the timings. But Sanditon. So if you've watched When Calls the Heart, which I've talked about before, and I'm not finished that one yet, Sanditon is really good as well. You're crafting and watching Locke and Key. Chrissy, that is also one of my suggestions. My family has just finished watching the first season of Locke and Key, and you can find that one on Netflix, everyone. How different is that? I will say when I first started, I wasn't overly keen, but it did grow on me. But it was nice to sit down with the family and watch that one. Very different, but yeah, very good one. So Sanditon is one that's set back, in the same sort of era as When Calls the Heart, quite a while ago. I don't know what century, sorry everyone. But that's really good. I love that era. I like the big dresses and all that. So let's move with the Mossy Meadow. So that one's one to check out. Also on Foxtel, what else did I have? Cold Justice. Now, if you watch, Marion says Foxtel Crime Only. Okay, well here's one Foxtel Crime Only. But I know Marion likes non-real crime. She likes the fictional crime. But for a real crime, Cold Justice. Now, this one, they go back to cold cases up to 20 years or more later, and they try and solve the crime. Very, very good. I do like my crime shows, but I like the real life crime shows. So like the First 48, Cold Justice. Go check those ones out. So that was for my Foxtel. TV. Now, I don't watch TV either. I only watch things on... So I'm going to move, to grey granite now. So I've done the Mossy Meadow in the tie. The grey granite, I'm going to bring in that larger piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to actually stamp 2 of these hats. So for normal TV, Channel 9, I found Survivor and Manifest. Now, Survivor, I've loved Survivor from day dot. I think Survivor's probably the only reality TV show that anyone ever has put out. It's not scripted as much. So I'm just going to leave those. I'm going to fussy cut those ones out in a minute. Let's bring in that sentiment piece, and the sentiment actually comes from the Rise and Shine. So let me bring that one in and quickly show you this one here. But I will be stamping with the Rise and Shine later on next week. So Make Today Crazy, and we're going to stamp that in, where is it? Mossy Meadow. So Survivor and Manifest. Let me tell you about Manifest. Manifest is, and I watched it a long time ago, but season 2 is coming out really soon. It's a bit of a crazy one. It follows, it's actually got a couple of Australians in it as well, but it follows a bit of a mystery, so really good one to watch. It would be okay if it was real reality. Survivor's real reality, Marion. You can't get any real than that. They drop them in the jungle and all they're given is rice and water. Okay, gonna move on to the other one, and we've got Night of Navy, and I'm going to stamp the umbrella. Now, let me just show you. See how that didn't stamp very well? I haven't re-inked my ink pad, so it's probably going to stamp just as bad. It's not scripted. Sylvia has Manifest in season 2 already. Okay. When I checked it today, it still hadn't come out, so maybe it's due out very soon. Have you watched it, Sylvia? Did you watch the first season? I did get a few people watching it. But it feels like ages ago that it actually come out, the first season. Yeah, so definitely needs re-inking. So let's just cut these ones out. Try and be quick. So is everyone planning on staying in? Or are you just going about your daily business? Not too worried. I see they've just banned... if you're not an Australian citizen, you can't fly into Australia. So, I don't know, that's sort of getting a little bit scary. For me, I was not too worried. We're healthy and we don't go out a lot. But, yeah, I don't know. You have Fetch, not Foxtel. I've never heard of Fetch, Chrissy. That's interesting. Pam, yep, you're not going out too far. You did, Sylvia. Excellent. Well, you'll be watching season 2. I've got it on my list. I've got a big list. There's, like I said, I'm still watching When Calls the Heart, and I only watch that on the weekends while I'm crafting. That's my crafting show. And last weekend I was doing videos, so I didn't watch anything. New Zealand's done the same thing. Yeah. It's probably smart. I think if we can get on top of it earlier rather than later, the better. Ozark season 3. Chrissy, I haven't even seen Ozark 1, so that's a good one. I'll have to put that on my list. Angie normally stays in. choosing the borders between states as well. Right, okay. Well, one thing they are doing around here is the supermarkets, you've got to show, like these smaller supermarkets in the smaller towns, you have to actually show ID. You can't buy anything in the smaller regional towns if you don't have a licence for the surrounding areas. So, and the reason they've done that is they've had busloads of Melbourne people actually come up to the regional places and buy them out. So they've stopped that, which is sad. I think, I don't like that people get nasty when things happen. I think with the bushfires that happened at the beginning of the year, I think that everyone sort of come together and we work together, and I think we've sort of not worked together with this crisis, and it's a little scary. And I think if we just take what we need, because there is enough supplies here in Australia to get us through, we've just got to not buy more than we need to stockpile in our house. I think that's the biggest thing. Tasmanian borders closed tomorrow. Sylvia says if she has to isolate, at least her hair will be good. But no one's going to see it, Sylvia. Speaking of hair, my hair is in total need of dyeing. It's very bad. But I'm also looking at getting a haircut because I'm not real happy with how my hair is at the moment. I want to get a fringe, but I'm a little bit scared as well, so that's putting me off a little. Hi, Jeanette. You've had visitors. That's okay. We're doing the first card. We're making 2 cards tonight, so this is just the first one using one of the new Celebration Arms Well Dressed. This is a really great masculine set. Okay. Well, that's okay. Well, that's good, Sylvia. As long as you feel good, because that's the main thing, I think. Got to feel good within yourself. I actually said to my husband, because I've got grey hair. I'm 43, I've got grey hair. I've had grey hair since I turned 18. It's been a slow process, but I first started getting grey hair at 18. And I said to my husband, I'm just going to grow it out, because to be in all honest, it sort of looks blonde anyway. It's not a salt and peppery sort of grey, but he's like, nah, you're too young for that. Anyway. Okay. Now I got on the 10 Play app. So if you didn't know, you can watch normal shows, normal TV anytime. You can get on their apps and watch whole seasons and of shows. And on the 10 Play app, they have Survivor Australia, which is what I'm watching right now. Loving it. I haven't got into the American Survivor yet. I'll wait until I finish the Australian one. So that's on over there. And I'm just looking for the glue. I'm just going to glue these 3 straight down. There's also, does everyone remember many, many years ago, and I loved this show, Rush? It was a police show set in Melbourne. It was really, really good. They have that on, you can watch that in on-demand sort of thing. So I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it, or if you have seen it, watch it again. Loved that show. And they've got Offspring there as well. So if you haven't seen Offspring yet, which Asher Ketty's unreal in it. My friend Ingrid and I, when she comes down to Melbourne, when Offspring was still on, we used to go and find the filming locations and suss them all out. So we used to have a lot of fun with that. It was a really good show. So I'm also going to pop up both the sentiment and the 2 hats. So pretty easy card. Marion says I'm a natural blonde, diet light, sandy blonde. No, see, the thing is my eyebrows are too dark, so it looks funny. Don't worry, Marion, Dawson's Creek's still coming. I haven't got to there yet. I'm a Dawson's Creek tragic fan, so that's coming. So if we go to Stan, so does anyone have Stan? Dawson's Creek's on that. Now that show was out in, I think, 1998 to 2004, I believe. A long time ago. I loved it back then. I still love it. I still watch it. I've tried to get Marion to watch it multiple times, but she won't. She just watches little bits and pieces. I'm going to stick one in the middle too, so I get right on that piece. So for people who haven't seen it or not really familiar with it, it's set, it was filmed over in North Carolina in Wilmington, and I've been there twice to see the sites where it was filmed, and I'm going back at the end of this year as long as the coronavirus hasn't stopped any travel in October, November, so excited. Like I've said before, Ingrid, my friend, who sometimes comes on, we're going over, and she's never seen Dawson's Creek, but I'm going to show her the sights. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that is the card there. I don't know whether I actually did anything inside. I better put a stamp inside, so I'm going to bring the grey granite back in and that hat, and we'll stamp inside. Lately I'm forgetting to actually stamp inside all my cards. There we go. So there's the first card, really quick and easy when you're not talking, but it's a great masculine card. Lots of nice dimension in it as well. So let's move over to the next card. This one here, this has got some heat embossing and some dry embossing. I've used the Tags in Bloom stamp set, and yeah, that's all I've used, but I've also used the, let me bring it in, this is the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder, really pretty, and I've pre-embossed it just to make it easy, so I'm not bringing the big shot in. Isn't that gorgeous? Tiny, tiny flowers, and it's using that Designer Series paper that I showed you before. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Flowering Foils is the name of that one. Once again, we're using thick Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to use some stamping blends to colour in with. So I'm going to just fold and burnish. So I have my piece of Whisper White that we're going to heat emboss with the copper, and we're also going to do our stamping of this background here. Let me bring in those stamps. And because these are photopolymer, I'm going to actually bring in my Stampin' Matte just to get a better image. I found without the matte, it didn't stamp quite so well. So the first one is with the Memento Tuxedo Black, and that is the image that has all the flowers around it. So on Stan, I'm coming back to these each time. Yellowstone, that is a really good show. Kevin Costner. I'm just trying to think how many seasons. I think there might be 4 seasons, and a new one's coming out this year. That is like a cowboy one. It's so awesome. It's one that I didn't think that I would like, but really, really good. Handmaid's Tale, it's been on the ABC each season, but you can go back and watch from the beginning. And oh, there's a documentary series on stand as well called Loose Change 911. Now, does anyone do conspiracy theories? Because if you do, you actually really like this one. It's a conspiracy theory about September 11. I was hooked. It was amazing. So I'm going to just bring that embossing buddy in and run that over this edge. And we're going to ink that with the Versamark ink. So I have the single label here. And don't know if that piece is quite big enough, but we'll make do. And we're going to use the copper embossing powder for this one. And like I said, Dawson's Creek's also on stand. Very teenagerish show, but I don't know, like I've liked it for 20 plus years, so it's one that I still like to watch. So we're going to actually emboss the centre as well, but I just want to make sure that I get this whole thing first. And I rocked my stamp, look at that. That's terrible. Let me get another bit of paper and we'll do this one all over again. Can't find any scraps of whisper wire. Here we have one. And I'll run the embossing buddy over it again. And I'll try not to rock this time. The embossing folder, Jeanette, is from the Ornate Garden suite. That's the one that's available to Stampin' Up demonstrators as of now. You can also pop it into your starter kit if you join Stampin' Up. It'll be available to customers on the 1st of April. Really, really pretty. I've got that. Let me bring that in. So this one here is really pretty. Really fine little flowers with the leaves there as well. I've done it again. Let me turn it over. I'll stop talking about TV shows for a second and let me see if I can get it right. Probably don't need to rock as hard or stamp down as hard with the mat. Much better. Isn't that pretty? Stitched effect in the background. Really, really gorgeous. So I'm just going to heat this up with the heat tool. I'm also going to pop the sentiment inside this centre as well. And it says, wishing you the best. I've rocked it again. I think because I didn't use the mat last time, I didn't have that problem. Just really be very careful if you're stamping under the mat or on top of the mat. Just going to come in and see if I can take those little pieces off. Always good to have a paintbrush on your desk. A smaller paintbrush would be better. Okay, that's good. Let's heat that one up and we'll be right to go. Doesn't the copper embossing powder look really good? I love, you can see that that's in the background of the paper, so it really sets it off. And get rid of this now. I think we've done all our stamping. Let's bring in some of our blends. That's got powder, so let me just take off. Just going to cut that bit off. So thick Whisper White card here, and we have the combo pack of Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight and Granny Apple Green to colour in this image here. I'm going to start off with the Granny Apple Green. We're going to go with the dark, and I'm just going to go in and create a little bit of shadow. As usual, I'm just doing a pretty quick colour. If you want to do a lot more blending and taking your time, go ahead and do that too. Also going to just, those little buds have got around the bottom of it. I'm going in with the light and I'm just going to colour in over the top, blending in slightly. Marion loves metallics, absolutely. I love the embossing powders. I think you can't go wrong with embossing. So we've got the dark Calypso Coral, and I'm going to do the centres of this flower and also in the shadows. And I might come back with the dark in just a minute once I've coloured these in, just to give that extra depth. Almost thought that was a floaty flamingo there for a second. How does everyone find the stamping blends? I love that it can be used for very beginners. But then if you're a bit more talented in blending, they work well as well. Yes, Sylvia, the Ornate Garden is from the upcoming new annual catalogue. Absolutely. So I'm just going to go back in and just add a little bit of extra of the dark Calypso Coral. So moving on to the dark Daffodil Delight. Just going to create a little bit of extra depth and then blending in with the light. So I think I need a new one. Just getting a little bit. There we go. Yeah, you can't actually refill these ones, but you can refill your markers. Okay, I'm going to bring in the punch that goes with this one. This is the Label Me, oh, what's it called? Is it label me lovely, label me pretty? I haven't even got the catalogue on my desk. This is in the mini catalogue, and it goes with this celebration item. And I'm just going to fussy cut this one out. So in the background here we have the ribbon that's part of the poppy suite, and also some whisper white baker's twine. So just quickly fussy cutting this one out. Obviously if you cut it out or punch it out with the punch, we're going to cut off those flowers, so you do have to fussy cut this one. But something that I didn't do on my sample card is go around the edges with where the white pieces are, where I've cut out, and just use the marker to just get rid of that white edging. So I think I was talking about last week, Stampin' Up doing their release of the annual catalogue with the on tour. That's been cancelled because of the coronavirus, so which is very sad. Looking forward to getting together with crafty friends and seeing the new catalogue, but I understand why it's happened. But I won't be able to let you in on anything that happens with that because it's not happening anymore. Let me grab my black marker. For the demos that are watching, did you plan on going? I think I'm glad that it got called off now rather than after we were able to register and book anything. Not that I would have booked anything because it was in Bendigo, which is only half an hour away from where I live, but it could have been a lot worse for a lot of people. So I'm just going around that edge where the white's showing. Jeanette was going to go. Yeah, it's interesting how Stampin' Up are changing around their events. Always very popular. I suppose everyone just wants to see the new catalogues, so they're always going to be a popular event, aren't they? So I've just gone, that looks so much better, doesn't it? Let me show you the other card. Yeah, it really pops out the flowers now. Oh, Sylvia, it was too far away. Yeah, I think they've gone for the more regional areas, which is the whole idea of them, because the on-stage has always been capital cities where they could hold a lot more people, so they were trying to go a bit further out. I know in Australia they had two in Queensland, one in Tamworth in New South Wales, one in Adelaide, and one here in Bendigo. So I'm just going to pop that off at an angle. Whoop. Good thing is there's a bit of wiggle room with that glue. And we're also going to pop that, the embossed card. This is Calypso Coral card. I'm going to pop that off on an angle as well. It's a shame to hide that specialty paper, isn't it? Sylvia, exactly. Capital cities are easier to get to than the smaller places. I know Bendigo is quite a big place, so it could cater for people to travel to. But still, there's that extra cost too. You usually have to get to a capital city and then get to the regional place after that. So yeah, it's definitely not going to be for everyone. There was a bit of yelling in the background. I have no idea what that was. I'd say one of my dogs has been naughty. So we have some dimensionals, and I'm just going to pop that one up, and this fits perfectly on that piece. And the great thing is there's actually a bit of a border around, so you're getting to see the memento where it's stamped, as well as the embossed image as well. So I'm going to, what did I do? I just glued that one straight down. Not a lot of dimension just with this. Pop that one down. And then we're going to add our little bit of ribbon. I have no idea what's going in the background, sorry. So I'm just going to go over, double over our ribbon and create a nice little bow. I think I need more. You've been to Bendigo, Sylvia. It's a big enough place, but it still has that bit of a ruralness to it, which I really like. Also really like Toowoomba in Queensland. It's got that same sort of feel, but it's more country than Bendigo. Okay, so that's big enough. Let me bring my ribbon scissors in and create those little loops there. And I'm going to pop this down with a glue dot, but before I do that, I'm going to bring the baker's twine in. Here it is. I'm going to double that one over as well, but I want to attach it to that middle of the bow. So placing it underneath the bow, I'm going to create the bow over the top so it's all contained. So I should be able to just use one glue dot to stick it all down. I thought that was easier than popping a couple of different glue dots down and hoping that it all stays together. Yep. So definitely the German Shepherd puppy's being naughty because I can hear her name being called. So she got desexed 2 weeks ago and she's done really well. We haven't had any issues with her. So I'm just going to cut that loop, which is the tail. There we have it. I have an absolute mess on my desk. Let me bring in some glue dots. I should just get away with one, popping that down. There we have it. It is a great place, Jeanette. Sylvia officiated at the Olympics meet there. Oh, the athletics, sorry. Our daughter lives in Toowoomba. Wow. Well, that is a small world. My daughter was born, my daughter, she's 21, she was born in Bendigo, but my son, who's 18, he was born in Toowoomba. So a little bit of information there for you. Oh, thanks so much, Jeanette. So wonderful cards, they're quick and easy. Don't forget, next Thursday I'll have another 2 cards that I'll be creating. I'm definitely using the Rise and Shine stamp set, which is where we got our sentiment from for the masculine card, this one here. Using that one next week. And what's the other card that I'm creating next week? Let me have a quick look. Ah, the flowering foil. So using the designer series paper again, this one here. This is really nice to be able to use in cards. So that's what we'll be using. Thanks so much for everyone for joining me. It's been a long video tonight. I really appreciate you sticking with me. Don't forget, all the measurements and supplies can be found over my blog, over on my YouTube channel tomorrow, if you're interested in creating any of these cards. Okay, have a wonderful night, everyone. Oh, Ingrid's just popped on. Thank you. I was just talking about you earlier. Your ears must have been burning. Yeah, so I'll be back next Thursday, so hopefully you can pop on for that as well. Until next time, have a wonderful night, everyone. Bye-bye.